Hi friends. Well, I've taught you to be, worked with you to be, tried to model for you being sensing beings rather than just thinking ones. I mean, you can't help but think. There's no effort to that. And there's no one that can teach you more than you already know. I mean, their potential is to teach you other than what you already know deep inside. Part of the illusion, you know? So, anyway, here we go. I don't choose to withdraw during the time I'm getting adjusted to Cuddle's physical presence not being here. So, if you are sensing some undernotes to what I'm saying, realize that this is that time in my life. And that's just how it is. I refuse to take 30 days off and go mourn and all that sort of thing. And I refuse to suppress how I'm feeling. So, you know, we deal, don't we? We just deal. I like Elliot here, whoever he is. I like his perfection and imperfection at the same time. You know? Not that you're imperfect if you only have one antler, but many will judge you that way. Funny how that works, huh? And my gosh, with these ears, I mean, gee. Wonder what life sounds like with ears like that. We used to, in our human bodies, have control of our ears and be able to move them around, attune them to sound. Well, that's okay. You know, you're a divinity. Get used to it. And meanwhile, have some fun, huh? Okay, this journal is about a month old, almost. It's from 12:15, the first one of that day, and it was one of my special days. It was a Jaguar day, so it was 11 Jaguar. And there are 2 links with it that I think you will enjoy, both of them. And we're going to find out if you're so much in mind that you can't take a pause. And we'll do it this way. Let's see, let me magnify the type a bit so it's easier to see. All right. Now, for those who can break themselves away from watching my journal first, I ask you to click over to the transcript, to the Dr. Liberman interview, and watch it first. As a matter of fact, I think I'll even see about putting a live link in the description field so you don't even have to click over. But I wish you would. I wish you would get used to that. Often enough, there are links there for you. Okay, so if you'll watch it first, the Dr. Liberman interview, then you'll be in better shape to understand what follows, what I'm saying here. I hardly know what to say, actually. He was a harpist, playing the strings of my soul. The doctor speaks my language so precisely. He gets it somehow into words able to convey the beautiful meaning. Be in heart, my friends. You have a real treat in store in this other Lilu interview of Dr. Jacob Liberman, a true visionary. Someone living wholly, parenthetically, and holy, as in halo, in and from heart. Can you see yourself living completely from heart or now space? Do you believe you can wean self away from mind long enough to even experience what this means? Now, I know you all can. It's a matter of Well, I wrote who has the courage, but maybe who has the determination to make it so. To take your power back. Believe in yourself, my friends, but not the phony self you've been living in for most of your life. Have you left that one yet? Seen through it and simply moved on? Or not? It's a really huge question. One worthy of a little g God, of the little g God that you are. Eckhart Tolle comes close to call this state being danced. It's not original with him, but I forget where it originates. I use it often, but Dr. Liberman's words say it best. When you listen from heart, especially, you can simply feel this man, or rather the flow of the divine intelligence that you are coming through. I've often said that life is a perpetual, ongoing conversation with Source. Everything speaks. It can really be more like sex or making love, this ongoing interaction or dance. If you're dialed or tuned in, are you aware of this? The potential for that? Have you ever felt it? That direct interchange from the heart of Source right to you? Perhaps through the perfect stranger, or the flower, or the cat. It comes through simply anything and everything. It's there all the time. The big question is, are you? How do you be there, you ask? You start by being centered within, by being in the now moment or being in heart. And then you just listen, you just watch. Really and truly, that's all. Sure, it helps to know the eternal conversation exists. Yeah. You already notice many little things, synchronicities and such, that you may not have yet fully connected with this dialogue. For many, there can be a temporary blockage of not feeling worthy of having this direct talk with God, with Source. We weren't taught that we're worthy of any such thing. But we are. Heck, my friends, we are Source. Come in the flesh. We are source beams, emanations of that. So, you're worthy. Just accept this so you can finally move on and enter in. Another aspect of the worthiness issue is the feeling of being too unimportant, not sufficiently pure or spiritual or whatever. Look this one right in the eye, but not from the perspective of 3D, but rather the perspective of the source beam that you are. It will cringe and either burn up right in front of you or slink off, tail tucked well between legs. Just face it down, whatever it is. So many things will just magically disappear for you, my friends. As we reclaim our true self, once again, we begin to remember the real, the divine identity. And then things just often disappear on sight. They won't be able to look you in the eye. You see, all along, they have known who you are. But as long as you didn't, well, they could get in and play and keep the upper hand. I want everyone to begin directly looking at those things they have run from for so very long. most of their lives, not just this one. And these things are often little nothings, things of no real merit. But as long as they had us convinced that we were these little nothings, then they seemed pretty great compared to us. I want everyone to see, to discover for him or herself just how very powerful your own gaze is in your life. You can prove this to yourself right here in 3D. It doesn't take ascending or becoming some sort of master to begin to master your life. You are that master already. It's just that we forgot. And that's what we're waking up to. Vision is ultra powerful, but not always. When we're in mind, our vision is quite ordinary, linear, dualistic, 3D. It's when we find our way deep inside and enter our own kingdom of heart that the magic begins for us. When looked at from heart, the full spectrum of your real self can and does gaze through your eyes, frightening any bugaboo standing before you at any time. If it's light, it won't be frightened, it'll enjoy it. It is, as Dr. Liberman says, it's a divinity that flows through us. It isn't us. This 3D body-mind does not have this awesome power. Source does. But we are the emissaries of Source. Source beams, one and all. Those of us who came into a real humility and emptiness know something of what this is about. We have felt the wind of the divine passing through. Please hear me, my friends. It is when we are in mind that we are firmly asleep. Do you hear that? Does it penetrate? Or is the mind, in your case, still in charge, still in control, still telling you how small you are? It needn't be. That's up to you. You're only weighted and chained down as you choose to be. Now, in heart, you know this is true. Feel that inner knowing. I tell you, it is there. You just have to link up. Go within. I've also included a link to a TED Talk, believe it or not, by a teen. This is a young man who has an important message for us all. He was in college by age 10, even though diagnosed as hopelessly autistic as a tot. His is the lesson of emptiness too, of ceasing to learn. You'll be surprised and uplifted to hear his presentation. The mind was the lure that took us off the track, our divine path. Now, it was great fun for a while, discovering all the wonderful things it could do, all the paths it could lead us down. Here's the thing, though. We've been there and done that thoroughly. There's just no need anymore. The mind's track is linear, is dualistic, and that's just not where we're headed now. We're moving on from that. It was through the mind every time that we were deceived, only every time. Even today, we can still be deceived through the mind. Well, that just doesn't happen in heart. The kingdom of heart is a whole nother world. My suggestion, whenever you're ready for it, is to simply throw out everything you've ever been taught or told by anyone in any sort of position of power or authority, whether teachers or parents, government or organizations of any kind. Decide for yourself that you're putting all of that aside. Just table it for now. If you can't toss it out yet, that's fine. Then take the young teen's advice and stop learning. Stop performing for those in control. Instead, it's time to both think and feel for yourself, preferably from right brain or from heart. It's time for your own particular creativity and genius to blossom, to shine forth. But to have that happen, at some point you have to take a stern line with the mind. No more pleasing others, just the self. Be brave, my friends. We are the emissaries of the Most High. I kid you not. That's what the way showers are. Step up to the plate, please. It is time. Take back both your identity, your true identity, along with all the power you vested in others over the years, over the eons of time. No more. Come back to self. When you're ready, these words will be like liquid gold to your long-suffering soul. You can call an end to all of your suffering at any time, but only from the real self, not from the mind. We have to break this enforced addiction to being stuck in the left brain all the time. It's ridiculous. But until we choose to escape it, we won't be even able to smile at it, much less give it the good laugh it deserves. We are free beings, dear ones, but only as free as we choose to be. Now, sure, it takes a certain amount of courage, this going against the grain. Well, so what? Just remember who you really are, and it will be nothing to you. It's time to come home. See you again soon.